Think you don't have the skills you need to make fresh cheese at home? Think again. I'm Erin with Gwinnett County Public Library, and today we're going to learn a little homestead how-to. Cheese making doesn't have to be complicated. With a little time and patience and a whole lot of milk, you can make delicious cheese that your whole family will love. Today, we'll be making mozzarella, ricotta, a simple goat cheese, and then when we're done making our snacks, we'll be upcycling an old cheese grater into a beautiful luminary. Let's get started. Mozzarella is a simple, delicious cheese, and it only takes a handful of ingredients and a few minutes of your time. It's useful for hundreds of recipes, and I can show you how to get started right now.
To a quarter cup of cool water, add 1½ teaspoons of citric acid. Stir until thoroughly dissolved and set aside. In a separate dish of water, add 1/4 teaspoon, about 3 drops of rennet. This can be difficult to find. I would check online or with your local health food store. Set aside the rennet mixture for later. Pour your citric acid solution into a large saucepan and add 1 gallon of raw or minimally pasteurized milk. Stir well. You want to make sure that the citric acid gets thoroughly combined with the milk. Place on a stovetop and heat, stirring slowly until the mixture reaches 90 to 95 degrees, then remove. Add your rennet solution and stir 25 times, counting carefully before covering and allowing to set for at least 30 minutes. Half an hour later, check for a separation between the cheese solids and the liquid whey. Using a long knife, cut your curd into 1 to 2 inch wide squares. Place your saucepan back onto the burner and bring the cheese up to 105 to 115 degrees. Stir slowly as you cook, taking care not to break apart the squares of curd. Once your mozzarella is at temp, you should be able to remove the solid cheese with a slotted spoon and begin stretching it. With your hands or with a pair of kitchen utensils, dropping small balls of rolled cheese into a strainer set over whey, or transferring to a dish filled with a salt brine. This process is hot. Please take care not to burn your fingers. Once finished, you can serve warm or chill in a refrigerator for up to 3 days. Add a little olive oil and some fresh Italian herbs, and appetizers are ready.
Ricotta is a sweet and tasty favorite for fillings. With a little milk, cream, and lemon juice, you can make your own at home.
Pour 1 gallon of raw or minimally pasteurized milk into a large saucepan. Add 3/4 cup of heavy cream and 1 teaspoon of salt. Heat until boiling, stirring gently. Once your milk is boiling, turn off the heat and add vinegar and lemon juice, stirring to combine as the mixture cools. Let sit for at least 30 minutes. Half an hour later, strain your cheese curd out of the whey with a slotted spoon, setting into a damp cheesecloth. Allow the cheese curd to rest for 45 minutes to an hour as the remaining whey drips off, and then transfer your ricotta cheese to a refrigerator-safe container. Stuff into grape leaves or lasagna noodles, or serve your fresh ricotta with a little honey for a sweet treat. The results are delicious.
Don't let goat cheese scare you. This delicious alternative to cow's milk creates a creamy, spreadable cheese that adds a tang to any dish.
Begin with a gallon of fresh goat's milk. Pour it into a large pan and heat your milk to 95 degrees. Once it's at temperature, remove from the heat and add lemon juice and vinegar. You will see the milk begin to curdle almost immediately. Let rest for 30 minutes to an hour, at which time it's safe to begin straining out the goat cheese curds with a slotted spoon. Add salt to taste, and using damp cheesecloth, squeeze out as much of the whey as you can. Hang your cheese from a sink handle or a cabinet door and allow to drip dry for at least another hour up to a full day. Remove your dried cheese from its cheesecloth and place onto a piece of parchment paper to shape. Wrap tightly and place in the refrigerator for another 30 minutes. After your cheese is thoroughly chilled, you can sprinkle on a little parsley, serve it as a topping, add it to a favorite recipe, or eat it with a spoon. Scrumptious and worth every minute of work.
There are lots of ways to upcycle an old cheese grater. You could paint it and hang your jewelry from the slots. You could invert it and use it as a planter. You could take the top off and use it as a place to store kitchen utensils or school supplies, or you could add a little fire and create a beautiful luminary.
Upcycling your hardware into a luminary could be as simple as finding a glass-encased votive candle, lighting the flame, and setting it underneath your grater. Look how the light shines from each tiny opening. If you wanted to get a little more dramatic, you could pop off the handle and invert the entire grater. This creates a small shelf inside just perfect for holding a candle. Use a little jewelry wire or garden coil to twist a small set of handles around the top. Set your votive inside and light carefully. Hang your upcycled lighting from its newly made handles, or put it together with your original luminary to create some beautiful tabletop ambiance.
And that's everything, from the hors d'oeuvres to the candlelight to set the mood. I'm Erin with the Gwinnett County Public Library. If you'd like to learn a little more homestead how-to, head to your local library and check it out.